Halftime Pizza and FightSaga.com proudly present War Week Radio with 5-decade fight trainer James Gogue.
Guys, welcome. Happy Sunday to all of you. Guys, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know I did, even though we didn't have any big fights happening. I binge watched the entire At Home with the Furies. I know Coach didn't. But guys, if it's Sunday evening, that means, and if we're on if it's a big fight week, that means we're seeking the counsel of the boxing savant, the gentleman with the best eyes in the business. That's my brother, Coach James Gogue. James, how you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, Joe. I'm doing good. We got a great show tonight. We got a lot of great things we're going to talk about in the boxing business, the business aspect of it. No fights really happened this week, to, go over again. But a lot of boxing business stuff came up that, caught my and yours attention. And I did watch the Furies. Man, it was boring. I turned it, I'm not going to watch it. It didn't excite me. It was just, it didn't excite me, Joe.
Well, it's reality TV, brother. And once again, reality TV, it's not so real. But in this case, the first 4 episodes, and guys, I'll be doing a separate review. I'm not going to encumber the coach's time with this nonsense, but it really hit home to me. I have a lot of personal interaction and relationship with someone who deals with the same elements that Tyson Fury does. And so that series has been somewhat haunting me ever since. And I even wrote a song about it when I was in Red IV, and it's recorded, and I'll post the link later on the show. We'll touch on it a little bit later, but once again, like I stated, we don't want to encumber the coach's time. That's not why you guys are here. Guys, on today's program, we are going to preview Alexander Usyk defending his 3 world championships against, his WBA mandatory, Daniel Dubois. Yeah, we'll see what Coach has to say about it. We're going to go over the odds, and we'll see how long his preview actually lasts. I'm doing, my over-under is 5 minutes. And because, it's not going to be the preview that you guys have come to expect, he's going to go over, guys, as a special treat, the much discussed as of late Canelo versus Crawford super fight at 168. We'll get Coach's thoughts of it. Will that happen? Is it just talk? Or is that realistically one of the only big money fights left for Terrence Crawford in the twilight of his career? We'll talk all about that, guys. Those are our main events of the program. But right now, guys, oh boy, Terrence Crawford has been on a mainstream media tour. Joe Rogan Show, Breakfast Club, in which he hasn't been shy in, from what one network executive told me, biting the hand that feeds him. He's been torching everyone within the business, and fans have been running rampant with this ignorant narrative that he's been exposing the business of boxing. That's going to be our opening segment, guys, and we're going to, I transcribed everything that he said earlier this week to the Breakfast Club, right? He started off saying this, Coach Gogue, quote, "Some promoters keep you at a level where you need them on purpose. So they aren't going to do certain things to make you this superstar. Once you become a superstar, you outgrow the belts. You don't need them anymore. You outgrow the promotional companies. Your name speaks for itself, kind of like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Promoters are constantly grooming guys like that. If you're a promoter, you don't stick guys like that in with someone who can beat them. But if you're a promoter and you don't see what you like in a certain fighter, then you're going to throw him to the wolves and stick him in with another fighter from your stable who can knock him off. And you're still going to make money. The promoters, that is. Their promoters are going to make as much money with them as they possibly can while they have him to recoup all the money that they invested in him and then just to get him knocked off. And then when they can't make any more money with them, then they're going to just cut him just like that. I think that's messed up, that you can get terminated from your contract at any time with a promoter, but you can't just walk away if you don't like working with them. End quote. That's a lot to take in, Coach. There are so many problems I have with all of that. Would you like to go first, Coach?
Well, let me tell you, there's two sides of a story. He only looks at his career. He don't look at the big picture, okay? The big picture is, they got a lot of fighters they sign, and they invest a lot of money in these fighters they sign. For example, not all of them, the real special ones, they think that could be the next superstars of boxing. They take care of, up front, they give them a big signing bonus. For Felix Verdejo, 6-figure signing bonus, big minimums, and they made sure he's got all the right fights coming up, to develop him into that star, that marketable commodity that they want him to be in that big Puerto Rican, fan base they have over there. And look what happened. It never turned out. Every single penny they invested in that guy, they never made none of it back. That signing bonus, that monthly stipend they were giving him. What else? All the money they invested in all those fights. Come on, man. And it's not him. It's not only him. It's a lot of guys. Look, I remember I was in Top Rank's office back in, I think, 25 years ago. I was with Bruce. I went to go visit Bruce Trampler, the Hall of Fame matchmaker. And we sat in the office. This is before Brad Goodman was working there. We sat in the office, and he had his board of all the fighters, a big old board, all the fighters' names on it, man. Every weight division, this. Man, they must have had like 80 guys on that board. And I walked in there. I go, man, you got all these guys signed? He goes, yep. He goes, which one of these guys you think have what it takes to make it big? First guy I pointed to was Floyd Mayweather. And, he already had De La Hoya. He had De La Hoya up there already and everything. But out of that 96 class, they had they signed this amateur Stanley Allen. Yeah, he was he was a hot prospect in the amateurs, heavyweight. He never panned out to nobody. Augie Sanchez, they had him up there.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember, man. All these fighters, man. There was a lot of fighters on that board. I think it's right before they didn't even sign Diego Corrales back then. That early '97, they signed him. I think a year early. Maybe a year later. Yeah, because his name wasn't on the board. But Augie, Floyd, that Stanley Allen, I think that's his name, from Indiana, heavyweight. My heavyweight beat him when they were in the amateurs. Claybay. Who else? Man, I can't remember, man. There was so many. Oh, yeah. These Olympians that I never heard of. And Bruce goes, we were looking up there. How many of them guys are going to make it? I looked at Bruce, probably 3 of them. I go, all them other names up, they ain't worth a shit. He started laughing, man. He didn't argue with me. He started laughing because Bruce is real cynical. He sees him and Brad, they see thousands of fighters call him every day. And, okay, it fucking sounds like a broken record every day. And they know that, 99% of them ain't going to cut it. But guess what? They take their chances on the ones they think can make it. And they still got to invest in them. Now, I remember when Malcolm Garrett was president of Cedric Kushner Boxing. Yep. They used to do 50 shows a year on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. A little cable TV network, low exposure, but kept them busy, kept his fighters busy. Malcolm was telling me, I think this was in 92, when I first met him, 93. He was telling me it takes $200,000 to build a guy from scratch all the way to a champion. 200, 250. That was back then. Then he goes, in order for a promoter to get their money back, he's going to have to win the title and defend it at least 4 or 5 times. That was right there in my mind. I kind of had an idea because Don Chargan, when he was developing all those champions in Sacramento, I had that same figure in my head, But Don was making money on every show. Oh, yeah, I've only seen Don Chargan, as long as I know him, 35 years, 40 years, 35 before he passed away. I can't remember. There's only one show he lost money on when he had Tony Lopez, Loretto Garza. They did their first main event in Sacramento at the Arco Arena. Okay, they were both back then club shows. It was a club show, no TV. Okay, club shows, they never showed 10-round co-main events. Them days are done now. You go to club shows, 6-round main in the 6th-round main event, bullshit like that, man. But anyway, back then they had 2 guys that were coming up, undefeated prospects. Don was building them up in the market. He lost money that night. Only 800 people showed up in an arena of 17,000. 17,000. Yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah, he told me that. Yeah, but he kept plugging away, kept reinvesting his money in the market, planting seeds until the trees grew, and then the fruit started, blossoming, and he made his money back. But it's that risk he took, and I kind of figured that, but I didn't have the exact cost of, Cedric, he didn't do nothing like that. Everything was off that, that budget. Cedric Kushner Sports Network, wherever he could take that circus to a casino or or an area that was going to give him a site fee to help out with the costs and everything. But Malcolm told me that, man. Now you figure that was in '92, what it cost. Top Rank's been doing that, I don't know, for years. Nowadays, it's a lot more. Okay, these opponents are a lot more. The expenses are a lot more. Hotel, airfare, medicals, and all the other bullshit expenses that come up. You know what I mean? When you, for example, you take a 4-round fighter, first fight, a guy like Vargas. The airfares for him and his probably 4 people. Hotel rooms for 4 people. The medicals and all that shit you got to pay for. Then you got to pay for his opponents and the purses of these guys. I don't know. He's probably getting, a little prima donna like him. He's probably getting a lot more than the normal guys. Okay. Yep. The opponent's going to want money too. So, you're talking about easily, Joe, 10,000, 12,000. Shit. Sometimes $15,000 just for that 4-round fight. Fuck.
Yep.
I could do a club show in Mexico for that. 9, 10 guys on the fucking card. You know what I mean, Joe? That's just for one fight. How about the other 7, 8 fights, the main event? Guys like, Valdez, Navarrete. Navarrete got paid $750. Valdez got paid $1.1 million. Then that's not including all the medical, the airfares, hotels, the medicals, and all that bullshit for Navarrete. This shit's a risky business, man. It's and there ain't no guarantee you're gonna make money on that fight. You might lose. What if the gate doesn't? That TV money's paying for all the fights. What happened? What if you don't do good at the gate? Okay, to help you bring in a little, change. But man, it's tough, man. It's tough. You bring in, you develop these fighters. See, that's one thing. Crawford, he just looks at his career. But the other fighters, the way when they on another show, they told him that. Yeah, they go, yeah, that's you, Crawford. They say Top Rank signs 10 fighters, and one of them make it like you. But how about the other 9 guys that don't make it? Okay, and all that money they lose. And he looked at, and he gave some lame ass excuse. He goes, well, you're gonna know who's gonna make it or not. You know what I mean? And the ones you're gonna make it, you're gonna make don't. It. And I'm like, man.
Well, and once again, the problem I have with it is he's not factoring in. And this is one of the reasons why Don always referred to the fans as the real bosses of boxing, because you know what, you can do whatever you want. And I keep in mind, everyone who criticizes Top Rank for not doing a good job promoting Terrence Crawford, they need their head examined.
Oh,
because Top Rank made him a headliner on the 2 most widely recognized mainstream platforms for boxing, HBO as well as ESPN. What more can you do as a promoter? And look, it's never been up to anyone else but the fans.
Joe, let me interject.
Yep.
When Crawford turned pro, I said that last week. There was not a lot of fanfare on that for that motherfucker. He's a guy that couldn't even win the national Golden Gloves in his hometown. He lost to Jesus Mendez. He lost to Jerry Belmonte twice. I don't ever recall him winning a national title. He was always in that top 4. Okay. And guys that are usually in the top 4, they're usually solid. They're usually solid fighters. If they don't win the national titles, they're usually better professionals. So there was no fanfare with them. You didn't see Top Rank, main events, Golden Boy or anybody else run to his door and here's a blank check, sign the motherfucker. No, nobody. He had to sign with Chris Mittendorf, and he was built up by Victory Promotions. Cameron Duncan, Brad Goodman helped out a lot, because he fought on a lot of top-ranked shows coming up before they signed him. And Brad Goodman picked every single one of his fights, man. Yeah. Man, people don't know that, man. Brad Goodman is the best matchmaker in boxing. Oh, I told you that, and if you motherfuckers haven't got that by now, you don't know boxing, or you need to read up on Brad Goodman. Okay, all right. He's a guy that's 1983. I've known him way back in the days. I've heard of him, but I started meeting him and talking to him, years later. But he learned from the great Teddy Brenner, then Senor Trampler. He had a lot of guys. Role models to learn from, like I did with Chargan and Lorraine. Okay, when I started this business, I learned from them guys. He had great role models to learn the business, and he developed his own style, his own instincts, his own skill sets. Look at all the champions he built, man, motherfucker. Kelly Pavlik, whoever know, I can't, man. I'm gonna have to go over research back all the way 20 years, man. And look at all the champions he built back then, man. All of them, man. He's responsible for all these motherfuckers that are becoming champion for Top Rank now. In the last 15 years, he's been working for that organization or longer. I can't remember. But anyway, he paid his dues through the club. He learned his business through the club route. Okay. All right. Doing club shows with the Orleans when he first moved to Vegas. Okay. They had a club series. He was doing that. See, Joe, all this stuff, man. You cultivate your senses, you cultivate your skills, you cultivate your talents, and you grow and grow and grow in the business. His eyes are sharp as a razor, man. When he knows opponents, right? When he knows how to take this opponent is the right one, this one ain't the right one. Okay, and that's what these motherfuckers nowadays are. They're engineered to be champions. Back in the day, it wasn't like that, man. You fought, you went the hard way, you grew, you took them losses. You learned, you moved, and you grew, okay? Freddie Pendleton, he was 18-17 before he made his run for the title. He won 17 straight fights. Then he won the title. I think he beat the southpaw from New Jersey, Tracy Spann. Yeah, I think that's him, yeah. But when you look at his record, motherfucker fought every badass in the book, man, and lost to him. But he learned. He grew. That's how champions were made back then. You know what I mean? But nowadays, they're engineered more for success with a good matchmaker. You got a good matchmaker like Brad, your probabilities of becoming champion are high because he'll know how to guide you through the jungle, which professional boxing is. And Don Chargans did that same thing with Tony Lopez, Loreto Garza, Willie Jordan back in the days. 3 guys that were local guys. No big promoter wanted them. None of them. So Don developed them. You're talking about lower level prospects, and he cultivated, nurtured these guys. From the 4-round stage all the way to the championship level. Made them TV stars, ticket sellers. Okay, the whole woodwork. Okay, but that Goodman, yeah, man, he's sharp. If you talk
going back to point, Gogue. Back to point. So Terrence Crawford, in his mind, Top Rank didn't do a sufficient job cultivating and nurturing his career into a superstar, right?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, you don't shit on the people that got you to that point. They took the chance on him, okay? Put him in opportunity with Prescott. He delivered. Then he delivered, okay? All right? But how about the other fighters? Like I said, he only sees it on this part. But you don't shit on the people, man. You do not shit on the people that helped you get there. He called Brad Goodman after the fight, gave him his respect, him and Bruce. That's the right thing to do, man. Okay, because Brad took it. They knew for real. But you don't shit on Aram, man. You don't shit on Aram and the staff over there. All those guys, Lee Samuels, Carl Moretti, the Buff, and the guy that does a TV spot, man. He used to work for USA. Who's the other guy? The executive for Top Rank. The mustache. Hall of Fame, just in the Hall of Fame this year. God darn it, my mind is. Well, he had a lot to the whole staff at Top Rank. Everybody that answers the phone all the way to the guy that cleans the office and everything. It's a team effort, man, and you don't shit on it, man. The best way to handle it is, hey, it didn't work out over there. We had different opinions, but nothing but love and respect for them guys, man. I ain't got nothing but love and respect, man. I appreciate what they've done for your career, because you always got to show appreciation in this business, man. You can't make it by yourself, man. You don't get to the top of the mountain by yourself. You do it with the help of others, and you don't go. I know, like you told me the other day, Joe, that one TV executive, that high-level TV executive, he wasn't happy. He was fucking furious. But what you told me,
yep.
You can talk about that, Joe. You know him better than I do.
No, I'd rather not. But look, you don't bite the hand that feeds you in this business. You don't. Yeah. Once again, according to Terrence Crawford and all the mainstream parade he's been going on, right? Yeah. Telling Joe Rogan, telling Breakfast Club that, yeah, it's a shady ass business, and all the boxing business does is exploit fighters. Look, on average, for any major pastime, okay, because of the since the passing of the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act,
yeah,
on average, promoters only make 20%, and the athletes make a combined collectively 80% of the proceeds.
Shit.
That's high. That's higher than the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and definitely higher than the UFC. You know how much the athletes make for UFC collectively? On average, 13%. Okay, and he wants to bash boxing. Really? Yep. To Joe Rogan. Kiss my ass, Terrence Crawford. Chingao. Oh, so we're going to move on, guys. We're going to talk about, once again. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I'm not questioning his great talent, his ability, his boxing IQ.
No, we're not talking about that. That's undeniable.
Yeah, that's undeniable.
But, brother, before you cast aspersions from the people who made you, put you here, including the platform and the promoter who just gave you this opportunity, furnishing the opponent, giving you a career high payday, putting you on the platform, promoting the event, giving you the opportunity to shine. Well, you better check yourself. He goes on to say this, Coach, on the same interview, quote, when I was with Top Rank, I got 6% of the gate only. The promoter got all the rest. And I only got 6 to 8% of the pay-per-view revenue after it surpassed a certain amount. But I never saw anything after my guarantee.
Have they
Go ahead.
Joe, they never made no money on his pay-per-views from what I understand.
No, none. Nothing. And the gate, once again, what is the gate pays for the entire preliminary, all the prelims. The gate pays for that. It also pays for the promotion of your event. Okay? It pays for all the expenses, including promo spots. Most people don't realize, you see those promo spots on ESPN, you think the network pays for that shit. No, it's the promoter. All Access, do you think the network pays for that? No, it's the promoter.
Hey, Joe.
And the gate or the site fee pays for all of that. Terrence Crawford has no idea.
Joe, listen. He also talked about becoming a promoter, when his career's done. Who the fuck wants to deal with that motherfucker after he burnt, after he shit on all these people, talk bad about him? Now, if he would have been cool about it and not been so fucking negative and bad mashing them guys, don't you think, if he started a promotional company, he built up a few fighters, he could take them to them networks or the promoters to help him out, build the fighters? Look, he don't understand. Okay, he's gonna sign a couple fighters. How the fuck you gonna? How the fuck you gonna move them? You gonna move them on club shows, lose money? Hell no. You're gonna want them TV days to get some money, man. Okay, when your career is done, they don't give a fuck about you. You can't get no TV dates because you ain't got no leverage no more. Okay, to negotiate extra TV dates when you're fighting. Look at Floyd Mayweather. He can't get no TV dates. Okay?
How's it working out for Miguel Cotto?
Miguel Cotto. They can, when they're not fighting no more, they ain't got no leverage. So when he quits fighting, you think he's going to have any leverage to negotiate TV deals or to bring a new TV network in it? Oh, come on, man. He's going to find out the hard way, man. You don't do that. And if he wants to, stay in the business and sign fighters and try to do it his way, well, you're still going to need the help of networks, to networks to get you those TV dates. You're going to need to build these fighters up, man. If not, you're going to go to the club show route. Good luck. It's tough. It's tough, tough making it in this business, going to the club show route.
Yep. You better have someone who's very good at soliciting sponsorship to offset some of those costs.
That ain't even enough, Joe. You got to look, man. You're gonna do a club show. 70% of your VIPs, your big ticket selling tables got to be sold. Then you'll have a better idea if you're gonna break even or not. Okay, I learned all this shit from Don Chargan. You sell your VIP tables, your ringside tables. You just got to sell them out, man, and that's gonna bring 70% of your revenue. Then you can start breathing a little bit early because you can't depend on who's going to walk up to the fucking gate and buy a ticket. Don Chargan always told me that. Never depend on who's going to just show up. Pre-sell as many tickets as you can. Then you'll have an idea what your gate is going to be. Then you can match it against your budget and to see if you're going to break even or stay in the green. Man, I've done shows with Don, man. When I moved to Texas, I was his right-hand man. He always called me up, man. And every show I did with Don, he made money, man. Oh, yeah. I learned from Don. I said, Don, put this guy on, this guy, these guys on. These guys can sell tickets and everything. They can fight real good, but they can sell tickets. And that's what he wanted. That's what he heard. I wanted to hear it. Every show I did with Don, he made money, man. Oh, yeah.
So Terrence goes on to say, quote, "That's what I mean when I say boxing is kind of shady." No, kind of. I mean, it's really shady. A fighter's success depends on how a promoter moves him. Oh, Jesus. And then he goes on to look.
It's shady because it's got a lot of low-life trainers and managers and wannabes that don't know how this business operates, and they start poisoning these fighters with bullshit. You know what I mean? And it confuses these fighters, man. That's why
and Don Chargan always called them urban advisors. They will poison a fighter and turn him into a disgruntled man, right? They'll turn him into a disgruntled athlete, and it's very easy to do. And obviously we can tell, well, there are a lot of idiots who have been in Terrence Crawford's ear because according to him, everyone is just exploiting the fighters. It's horseshit, guys. And he goes on to say this. A network, quote, "A network gives a promoter a budget for two guys to fight." You don't know any of that. They could give this guy $1 million, this other guy $1.5 million, and just pocket the rest. It ain't like you can just say, hey, let's put it on the table. Where did this go and where did that go? End quote. No, Terrence, you can do exactly that. Since the passing of the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act, the promoters and everyone involved has to be transparent. You just have to open your fucking mouth and ask. You mean to tell me you couldn't ask the brass at Top Rank, hey, show me where this is going? They have to by law.
Joe.
It's ignorance.
Joe, that's what you got a lawyer for, okay? All right. They handle those fight. They ain't gonna listen to a fighter
and manager. Yep.
Joe, I've done this shit before, man. I never, business part. I let my lawyer do all that stuff. I ain't gonna talk to the promoter. I'll let my lawyer.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's Team Crawford, his management, his advisor, his attorney, right? That's well within their rights since the passing of the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act. This is why promoters collectively now only make 20% of the gross. And most of that money goes back into the business, investing in new talent every single year.
Yeah.
And to pay their staff. Top Rank has a staff of over 40 people.
I don't know.
Right?
If it's that many, but they got a big overhead over there. Oh yeah.
Yep. But according to Terrence, they did a piss poor job of promoting him. and they're just exploiting him, robbing him blind. Look, I don't see Terrence Crawford. Look, in BLK Prime, in his only stint with them, they lost their ass investing in Terrence Crawford. Did he give any of that money back when they were in the red?
What did Bob Arum say, Joe? Bob Arum said, I could have bought 2 mansions in Beverly Hills with the money I lost from that motherfucker.
Yep. And he's not lying. Guys, so Terrence Crawford exposing the boxing business. It's nothing but nonsense. It's nothing but nonsense. That's all it is.
I heard this. I heard that old Cry Me a River story so many times from the 90s, okay? 80s. Yep. And the shit continues, man. So when I first hear that, I'm like, oh, okay. I've been around in the business long enough not to be poisoned by that shit. But if you're a young, upcoming, fan of this business, fighter in this business, manager or coach, and you listen to that shit, it starts forming attitudes and beliefs in your head. Yeah, not good ones. Especially
if you're a fan and you don't know the business and you don't know any better. You listen to Guy Crawford, and this is the reason why I'm saying. This is the reason why we're doing this segment, guys, because it's poison.
No.
He's talking to guys like Joe Rogan. He's talking to mainstream fans who wouldn't know a left hook from a fish hook. And he's talking about, the boxing business is shady. Kiss my ass, Terrence Crawford. You don't know the half of it. And once again, that leads us to our first fact or fiction.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Thank you, Floyd. Number 1, James Gogue. Coach, fact or fiction, no network or promotional company will want to work with TBC Promotions when Bud retires. Fact or fiction?
Not with his attitude, not the way he shit on him. This game is built on relationships, baby. All right? Just like any other business out there. Relationships and contacts, okay? And you don't develop a good relationship with someone you want to do business with if you shit on them. Number one,
that's it.
You already built up a wall, and they ain't gonna want to deal with your fucking fighters unless they're the next coming to Mike Tyson. Don't deal with you. But the fighters he wants to sign, and they're just man. They're not gonna deal with this fucking dude. Nah, I wouldn't, me personally, because if I know he's gonna be a pain in the ass like that, he's gonna be a pain in the ass when I gotta help build his fighters up from scratch, 0 to 0 to hero. Okay.
Yep. Most people don't understand how much a fighter has to write off at the end of the year, or how much a promotional company has to write off at the end of the year, how much they lose in investing in this young talent that never pans out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
them, Joe.
Yep.
I can name lots of them.
Yep. It's and once again, it's almost become a thankless endeavor to the fighters and the fans. And like Chingao, dude, and this is why Top Rank, you'll see them shoot for par most of the time, and I use that term because that's what they're doing. They try to get the licensing fee, and once again, they work on a guaranteed budget. They get $93 million per annum to put together between 25 and 30 fights. Okay. And then they won't even bother peddling tickets unless they're trying to cultivate someone into a ticket selling attraction. Guys like Oscar Valdez, guys like Shakur Stevenson, guys like Big Baby Anderson. Right. Otherwise, they'll look for that big casino site fee to help out with the costs. That's it. They shoot for par, and you very seldom see them trying to peddle tickets at this point because of this.
Joe, if there's a place where they think that's their number one objective, put it in the they're old school promoters, Joe. They ain't just new shit. Okay, if there is a location they think it to be hot to move tickets, they'll take it there. That fight last week, Valdez.
Yep, that's what I said, Oscar Valdez. Yeah,
but if they can't find a venue where they just went to Jared Anderson's place.
That's right.
6 weeks ago. You don't want to go back that
in Ohio. That's right. Yeah. So now what are they doing?
Joe. You want to take them to another venue Okay, that's going to pay the bills. A site fee.
That's it.
Okay?
Hard Rock in Tulsa. Yep.
Yeah, just to keep them busy. But you don't want to take them back to Ohio too soon. If you could get they're smart, man. They're fucking smart. Top Rank, they know that this kid needs activity. And they know that, these type of opponents he's going to be fighting next is the type of activity he needs to learn and grow. Look, I'm being upfront with you. I don't think that training they're giving him in the gym is going to get them better. Okay, there's two ways you get better in this gym, in this business as a fighter. Okay, number one, the gym work you put in, the skill sets your coach develops in you, the conditioning he gets in you. The conditioning that conditioning level he gets to you. Okay, the skill sets, the boxing IQ he teaches you on how to use your skill sets. That's how you get. I don't think his coach is taking him to the next levels. Okay, he's doing it on natural talent. And he's getting better by Brad Goodman's matchmaking. All right. They're so fucking smart over there. They know. Here's what PBC would have done. After that went over there, oh, yeah, you're ready for Wilder. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, shit.
Brad knows this kid needs more development, more seasoning and nurturing. Bruce, too. Bruce, he could matchmake. He could do this shit in his sleep like Brad. They know this kid needs more development, seasoning, and the way he's going to get it is through good, by keeping him active like they're doing now, like a young Mike Tyson when he was coming up. Activity, I'm going to say this again to you fans out there or people listening. Activity is a fighter's best friend. Inactivity is a fighter's worst enemy, okay? And they're doing it the right way. Because me personally, Joe, I don't think he's getting that right seasoning and nurturing in the gym to get him better. That they're not teaching him all the stuff. The kid's athletically gifted, and he's not. Yep. And he's missing so many skill sets right now. Whose fault is that? It's not the kids. It's the coaches. They're not teaching. Yep.
Well, we're going to see if he learned something from his battle with Charles Martin that went the distance. He's going to be competing this weekend. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, big baby Jared Anderson. He's going to be taking on Andre Rudenko in your 10-round main event on ESPN.
Good fight.
Efe Ajagba in the co-main event, taking on Jan Kosabutsky. Very good co-main event, as well as Bahadir Jalalov is going to be taking on a gentleman. I haven't worked on his name, so I don't want to murder it. In your 8-round heavyweight special attraction. Also on the undercard is going to be the return of Shushu Carrington, Nico Ali Walsh, Abdullah Mason, Charlie Suarez. This is going to be a very good main event, or a very good card from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I hate to even say that because, guys, I just found out today I'm going to be doing live commentary on the internet from San Antonio, Texas at the Shrine Auditorium. I just got the call today. I'm going to be announcing a potentially 12-fight bout sheet from San Antonio, Texas. I'll put the link on, guys, before that fight starts. So if you guys want to go back and forth, well, you can. I'm going to be making the call by my lonesome. It's just going to be me making the call. And we've got a lot of prospects. Javi Fernandez, who just got signed by Louis DeCubas Jr., is going to be working with PBC. He's going to be in your main event of the evening against Clay Burns. Also, another prospect who got signed by Louis DeCubas Jr., Rick Nunez Jr., is going to be making his pro debut against Ruben Martinez. And it's going to be 12 bouts total. So I better rest my voice leading up to that. And once again, guys, if you're in the San Antonio area, I'm going to be hosting and emceeing the weigh-ins. That's going to take place at noon at the homeroom right by the Alamo Dome, guys, in downtown San Antonio. So I hope to see any of you guys there if you're in the South Texas, San Antonio area. So, yeah, I just got the call. It's going to be fun, guys. Come out and get a ticket. Come out and say hi if you're in the area. But want to give a big shout-out to my brother, Sly Tendencies. Good evening, Mr. Gogue. Shout-out to Joe. Shout-out to you, brother. And thank you for always supporting Coach Gogue on this beautiful Monday. And there it is. And there it is. We want to go to the first one on the board. Pernay, our brother Pernay, he says, Coach, as recently as 1 week, Crawford said he ain't going up to 168 to fight Canelo and that 154 was his max. And then he said on the biggest podcast, Joe Rogan, that he's going to face Canelo at 68. He doesn't mind. He said he's ready now. Coach, is that realistic in your mind?
Canelo and
Yep.
Crawford?
Yep.
Man, these motherfuckers, man, start getting this fantasy boxing out of their head, man. There's a reason there's weight divisions, man. Now, me personally, if I was Crawford, I'd take the fight. You know why? Because that's a $30 million payday.
Yep.
I mean, you're
That's
talking
it.
about I could do $1.5 million minimum.
It's the biggest fight. It's the biggest fight in North America right now. And keep in mind,
Joe,
guys,
Joe,
what? Yes,
Joe,
sir.
$84 at $1.5 million. That's $30 million in the pot for Crawford, man. I mean, that fight, he don't need to, even if he gets knocked out or beat, he don't have to fight no more, man. To me, I would take it just I would take number one financially and number two for the challenge. It ain't a smart fight, but he's at that career where he deserves to get a payday like this, man. And you're talking about, I haven't seen a guy like Henry Armstrong. He was a lightweight, undisputed lightweight champion of the world, moved up to welterweight, 2 weight divisions, and became the welterweight champ of the world. Now Crawford's going from 54 to 60 to 3 weight divisions. Woo. Never in the history has that happened. And he's going and he's fighting the undisputed champion. Now, do I think it's a smart fight for Crawford financially? Oh, motherfucker. What do I sign? But, I would want 30 million, man. And it's in the pot, I think, a minimum. Now, if that fight does over $1.5 million, baby, yeah, then they're both going to get rich. Yeah. Now, that fight, yeah, that would be a very intriguing fight, man. But if you're a real boxing guy, man, come on, man. Yes.
Yep. Coach, we're going to go more into that in the back part of the show, okay? Right? But, guys, keep in mind, yes, realistically, and I think someone probably advised him saying, look, what other big money fights do you have in around 54, 60?
Yeah.
You don't. The other one is Jermell Charlo, and if he gets his ass whooped by Canelo, yeah, your best option is Canelo, right? So we move on, guys. We're going to give a big shout out to my brother G Funky Boxing. Guys, G Funky's going to be helping me co-host Real Boxing with Rick Glazier tomorrow evening. So tune in for that, guys. And also, please go subscribe to G Funky Boxing. Always does a great job. And he says, greetings, Joseph and Coach Gogue. Get your popcorn ready. This is going to be good. Yeah, we're just getting started, guys.
Yeah, Glazier's good. Glazier's good to listen to because he talks to everybody in the business, and he gets a lot of, the gossip out there that I don't get.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, say what you want. It's always entertaining, guys. Thank you for joining us, G Funky, and look forward to sharing the air with you tomorrow. Also, give a big shout out to my brother Hy-Vee. He says, Coach Gogue, what are the critical adjustments you have to make when preparing a heavyweight for battle?
Shit. Basic. Get him in tip-top shape. Just basic fundamentals, baby. And Larry Goosen told me this in the 90s. Oh, it's stuck in my head. Larry Goosen's a brother of Joe Goosen, Hall of Fame boxing trainer Joe Goosen, and Hall of Fame boxing promoter Dan Goosen. When he had his gym in Big Bear, the first real boxing gym in Big Bear, where all the great fighters of the 90s trained, De La Hoya, you name them, Mosley, Bo, Holyfield. I mean, everybody trained there. Tyson, Nunn, what's his name? Johnny Tapia, Lennox Lewis, all of them. Well, he told me there's 3 things you got to do to make in the heavyweight division. I'll never forget. Number one, get him in tip-top shape. Heavyweight has to be able to punch, and he has to be able to have a good chin. You got those 3 things, you go far in the heavyweight division. Just them 3 things: good chin, good punch, great conditioning. Joe Joyce is a perfect example. Not a lot of talent, but great conditioning, great chin, and just basic stuff. And punch, the punch. Yeah.
That's it. Coach knows. Thank you for being with us, Hy-Vee. Also, Jesus M. Thank you for being with us, brother. Salute us, Coach. Joe, the Usyk card looks pretty good. Well, I will say this: the co-main event looks strong. Dennis Baranchik is taking on Anthony Yigit from France, right? But
Who?
other than that, Anthony Yigit from France, right? Former Olympian against Dennis Baranchik. Other than that, a lot of names that I don't recognize. But we'll get into that in just a moment when we rattle off the tail of the tape for Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, right? But that's coming up. Thank you for joining us, Jesus. We appreciate you, brother, and we hope you guys tune in. And thank you to ESPN Plus for airing this in the States. Also want to give a big shout out to my brother, Will Boxing. I've been hearing from someone close to Reynoso because Spence losing and 160-pound Charlo having inactivity, mental and divorce issues. Benavidez is next in May. Look, this is all going to be contingent on whether or not his pay-per-view is a big hit, and that's highly doubtful. It's going to be secluded or obscured behind the pay-per-view paywall. That's basically guaranteeing that no one's going to see it. Coach Gogue, if you had to guess, what do you think the pay-per-view numbers will look like between Benavidez and Andrade?
What did they do last time? 120?
No, less than that. That was at Plant.
80?
No, it did about 100,000.
Okay, 80. 75, 80, 70.
If I had to guess, I would say it does about as well as Gervonta Davis versus Isak Cruz, 50,000.
You got it.
Once again, you know what? If he doesn't score a much bigger commercial or critical hit than this, now keep in mind also how many fighters look good against Demetrius Andrade, Coach.
Yeah, stinking southpaw style, difficult to fight, makes you look bad. That's his problem, though. Yeah.
Yep. So once again, if he doesn't score a big commercial and critical hit, well, best of luck, Junior, in getting that Canelo fight. So you've been hearing from the wrong people, my friend. Look, put it this way. Crawford has a better chance of getting that third fight than Benavidez. And that's the God's honest truth.
You know what, Joe? That Crawford fight's hot, man, with Canelo. If that fight, man, come on, man. He's 36. Fuck, you gonna turn down 30 million? Fuck Charlo.
Nope.
He'll get half of that for Charlo, but he can guarantee. I'm serious, man. I don't just throw these numbers out. I'm looking in my head the revenue, the site fee, the sponsor, and there's 30 million in the pot for him at least.
Yep, that's it.
He'll probably want 50.
Oh boy, we'll get to that on the next Fact or Fiction, my friend.
Yeah.
Jesus M also says, Coach, I'm tired of people saying Charlo and Crawford are too small for this. Boxing skills pay the bills, and Crawford has them versus cement. Canelo. One punch at a time, Canelo gets tired. So we'll look. Hold on, save it, brother. Save it. We're gonna get into that in the back part of the show.
I'll say it right now, man. My
ahead,
experiences. Because I don't think Jesus. Want me to say it, Joe? Or you want to wait? I don't care.
No, go ahead and say it now while it's on the top of your head, sir.
There's a reason why there's weight divisions. Like Crawford says, "Oh, I always spar bigger guys." Yeah, that's true. That's sparring. I got a kid right now, Brian Retamosa. He's 15-0. Good little prospect I have. He spars bigger guys all the time. Looks great against them. Okay, guys, 2 weight divisions, 3 weight divisions higher, no problem. I'll put him in there with. Got a headgear on, face bar, bigger gloves. Opponent, the same thing. Hey, man, when the opponent hits you, you don't feel that full effect of the punch because it's sparring, bigger gloves. And when you get hit, you got that face guard protecting you. So Our last fight in Mexico, the motherfucker purposely came opponent's flying bag. He came in 11.5 pounds overweight. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I didn't like the fight because from experience, I know when a guy comes in that heavy, it doesn't turn out like you want it to.
Nope.
Okay. And my fighter's man, no problem, or because he's sparring bigger guys and this and that. But I don't want to, we trained so hard for this fight. I wanted him to learn the hard way. He got in the fight. You know, he went after that guy. I told him to box him, just be intelligent, box, move, and he went after the guy like he does in sparring. Think he could take the guy out. He hit him with that best. When he was hitting him with them best shots, Joe, the punches. When the punches hit his opponent, the guy is just naturally bigger. He absorbed the punches like a sponge. There was no effect. Okay, yep. I mean, when you hit him, the naturally bigger guys can absorb your punches so much better, like a sponge. And when he hit my guy felt, he's like, shit, this guy's strong. My guy couldn't move him physically. And the guy, what do you call it? When the guy hit my guy, you know what I mean? There was some force. And plus the guy was headbutting. The guy was dirty, headbutting, elbow lock, cut my guy, busted my guy's nose up. And we took a chance. After the fight, I told that promoter, I'm never going to put my guy in this predicament again, man. Okay? Yep. That's your fault for not getting the right fucking opponent. Not mine. Okay, you should have brought the right guy that was going to make weight, and he didn't. That's your fault. But my guy, he stepped to the plate. He stepped up to the plate and took the fight. But I'll never put my guy in a predicament like that, man. I happened to meet him before, and this third time, I said no more. And that's the same thing, you know. Crawford's going to be coming up to weight division. He's not. He might walk around naturally at 68, 70, but you know what I mean? Canelo walks around 190, 195, 190 pounds, 195 pounds. He walks around more at a natural heavyweight. You're talking about a guy that's coming down to make 68 and a guy that walks around at 68. Okay? So when he gets in the ring, he's going to feel it just like Amir Khan did when he got hit.
Oh, okay? Boy.
And when he hits Canelo, Canelo's going to and he's going to say, hey, this ain't Earl Spencer fighting. All right.
That's it, guys. And
that's once again, I learned my lesson. I mean,
we're going to talk more about that later on the show, guys. And Will Boxing says, boy, that Bud Canelo fight would be huge for the PBC and Showtime business-wise. Guys, once again, the more big-time mainstream matchups that we see on center stage, regardless of platform, that is great for the health of the sport. And G-Funky, going back to your, high price of even staging club shows. G-Funky, he knows. He's in this business. He says, yeah, I know guys that got paid $7,000 in an 8-round main event on Thompson Boxing. Guys, it's expensive. And there's a lot of risk. And it costs a lot of money to stage these club shows. And it's never a guarantee that you're going to make money. But according to Terrence, oh, man, these athletes are just exploited. It almost reminds me of that bullshit that Larry Johnson stated in the NBA, comparing NBA owners to plantation owners and talking about, the athletes are treated like slaves. That's 100% true. Bullshit. It's ignorance. Nonsense. Because collectively, all the athletes, they make the great majority of the money. But once again, Captain You Planet, you wouldn't understand that, would you, Terrence?
Yeah.
Shit. Chingao. Honestly, I'm sick of talking about it. And we're going to get into more of this later on in the show because we're going to address the bullshit narrative later on. Oh, yeah, that Terrence Crawford was frozen out for years by PBC. Okay, we're gonna bullshit. We're gonna answer that, right? We're gonna talk all about that later on the show if we have time. We want to give a big shout out to my brother Outlaw, Jojo and Coach. Thank you. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, yeah, promoters, a lot of times they don't get the credit they deserve, but they sure get shit on when things don't go their way.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Same as coaches. Coaches.
Same with trainers. Yep. That's it. We want to thank our brother W.A.W. He said, just got to rewind a week back and say, Gogue has a hidden crystal ball somewhere. Always the best analyst and almost flawless in predictions.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's got the best eyes in the business. Dare I say, the boxing savant, Coach James Gogue. Thank you for joining us, W.A.W. Also, my brother from across the pond, Toby Bartlett. Salute Joe, Coach Gogue, and the chat. Salute to you, my friend. He says, laugh my ass off. Didn't Bud get his biggest payday to this day by Showtime? Yep.
Yeah, but he had the right dance partner too, though. Okay.
That's it. That's it. Once again, he's an ingrate. He's an ungrateful piece of shit. Dare I say that? Yeah. I'm not going to pull any punches on this show.
I like Bud, man. Bud, I ain't got nothing but love for you.
No. Look, brother.
I just don't agree with your some of your opinions.
Your business acumen or lack of. Now, once again, this tells you everything. Most people don't realize this, but you remember that bullshit lawsuit that he filed against Top Rank, claiming that they were racist, saying that they owe him for a fight? This is how much he knows about it. Now, once again, during COVID, he turned down a fight, right? Coach, does that go against your promoter's obligation of fights that they owe to you?
He didn't have no COVID clause in there. If there was a COVID clause, yeah, then they owe him a fight. I mean, you know what I mean? It depends what's written in the contract. If it's in the contract that both parties have to mutually agree, okay, then that's a different story. But if the promoter, offers you a fight and they don't have that mutual agreement and that you accept it, that you got to mutually agree on it, then they owe you a fight. But they didn't have that COVID clause in there. So hell, man, Top Rank was in the right. When he signed that contract, whoever thought COVID was going to come into play when they offered him that fight? Yeah.
No one. Look, all I can say is he's damn lucky that he still got the big paydays with Kell Brook and Sean Porter, because they could have easily terminated his contract claiming force majeure. Okay? Because no one. And they would have been right. They would have been justified in doing it. No, instead, he files a lawsuit claiming that Bob Arum and company are racists. Kiss my ass, Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
So we're moving on, guys. We want to give a big shout out to, let's see.
Who should I bet then this week? Who the fuck's fighting? Oh, Usyk. Usyk, man, that ain't no money to make. Just save your money, man. The odds ain't good enough where you can make some money.
And Outlaw says, no, I still don't believe Andrade will fight Benavidez. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the network wants to pay him, and we'll see if they want to transfer this to regular subscriber Showtime. That's a very distinct possibility at this point still. Keep in mind, guys, Showtime, they're the ones who pay the big licensing fee for these events, these matchups. And he basically states it becomes his event, and he basically determines how they want to distribute this on either pay-per-view or regular subscriber Showtime. Okay? We'll see what happens, guys. So once again, guys, that leads us to our main event of the evening, an hour in. Coach Gogue, are you ready? We're going to rattle off the tail of the tape for the WBA title challenger, Daniel Dynamite Dubois. Guys, he's going to come to the ring at age 25. He fights under the orthodox stance. He stands 6'5" tall in the center of the ring. Fights might have 78-inch reach from Greenwich, London, England. He comes into the ring with a fine record of 19 wins, 1 loss, 18 big wins coming by way of knockout. Coach Gogue, do you want to talk about the strengths and weaknesses or just your assessment of Daniel Dynamite Dubois?
Big, strong, good right hand, average, nothing special. Doesn't have any heart. You know what I mean? Fight gets tough, he'll quit on you. Nothing special, man. He's a Frank Warren creation. Frank Warren has done a tremendous job not only building him up, but protecting him and getting them good paydays. If he wasn't with Frank Warren, he never would have got this far. But yeah, he can hit though. And every time a heavyweight can hit like him, you know what I mean? His opponent, there's always that danger factor.
Yep. And that's your assessment. You want to talk about the cons of Daniel Dubois?
Man, he quit like a dog when he fought Joe Joyce.
How's his speed? How's his speed going into this matchup, Coach?
I mean, he's average, Joe. He ain't nothing special. Ain't nothing Usyk has seen. Don't forget, Usyk has been fighting since he was 7 years old, man. He's seen all types of amateur styles, all types of skill level, all types of physical talent, speed, all this other stuff. His eyes are all, adjusted to all that. It ain't nothing. This ain't nothing that motherfucker's gonna bring to the table that Usyk's gotta, have a big concern about, except his punching power. Yeah.
Oh boy. Here, check this out, brother. AJ Azadashi said, man, you actually simping for people with the money. And so, look, dude, everyone that we've been talking about are millionaires, multimillionaires. Okay. I don't see Terrence Crawford returning any of the $4.5 million he got from BLK Prime when his pay-per-view tanked on their platform. So go sell that bullshit ignorant narrative to someone else. Okay.
Promoters ain't taking no punches. Fighters ain't putting up no money to invest in these motherfuckers so they can make money. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, it's just ignorance. It's just ignorance. Go on. Like I said,
let me tell you something.
You go ahead,
Joe,
sir.
I'm going to tell this guy, what's it, AJ?
Hey, look, I'm gonna pull up this. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me push the tee into the ground. Here's the golf ball. Have at it, brother. Drive away.
I remember Oliver McCall, man. Good man. Me and Oliver were talking one day, and he goes, yeah, everybody said Don King ripped me off and this and that. And he goes, yeah, he did. He probably did. He goes, but without Don, I never would have made the money I made. If he never invested in me and believed in me as a fighter, I would have never made the money I made. Okay. So, it goes to that promoters ain't taking no punches. Well, if the promoters, don't invest in you, they ain't going to put money into you unless they believe in you. And they're not going to just take money out of their pockets and just throw it into you. Okay. This is not a, what do you call it?
It's not a charity.
It's not a charity. Yeah. It's a business. And they, obviously thought something of Crawford, like the other 100 fighters they signed, but without their investment, he would have never got to where he's at. They ain't taking no punches, but they're putting the money up, and it's a big risk. Like I said, look at having a Felix Verdejo, all the money they spent on that motherfucker, $300,000-$400,000, and never got it back.
And there it is. So once again, go ahead and espouse that ignorant narrative somewhere else, brother, because we are in this business and we know better. Okay. Yeah. And there it is. Larry, listen, thank you, brother. And he says, AJ Zadosha, you missed the point. Thing is, if everyone gets overpaid, then no one will end up fighting since they're all looking for that big payday. Just look at the heavyweight division currently. Yes, it's stagnant, guys, because everyone's looking for that life-changing money from the Saudis. And guess what? As a result, well, most of the heavyweights aren't fighting. So we want to welcome Khalid to the show. Thank you, sir. Salute Joseph and Coach Gogue. Salute to you, brother. Thank you for always supporting Coach Gogue on Sunday. So, guys, let's go back to the main event of the evening. And let's rattle off the tape for the incumbent three-belt champion, Alexander Usyk. He's going to come to the ring and he fights out of the southpaw stance. Well, he's getting long in the tooth also. They don't even disclose his age on BoxRec. He stands 6'3" tall in the center of the ring. He fights behind a 78-inch reach. Now residing and training out of Oxnard, California. He was born in Crimea, Ukraine. He comes into the ring with a perfect record. 20 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, and 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. Coach Gogue, what's there to like about the machine, Alexander Usyk?
Second best heavyweight in the world. But what a talent that Usyk is. Like I said, Joe, he started boxing since he was a young kid, 7 years old. He grew into a heavyweight. He developed all those skill sets, boxing IQ, got all that amateur experience on the highest level. Man, come on, that's hard to beat. Tremendous southpaw. Understands how to control range and distance, like Shakir. Beautiful footwork, moves in and out of range. Keeps his lead leg outside of your lead leg to always have that angle, so he doesn't he doesn't stay in the line of fire to get hit by your big right hand. He knows how. He knows his footwork in and out, to confuse you, to make you hesitant. Okay, to make you miss. When you try to throw punches back at him, he knows how to close that distance without taking a lot of incoming. Knows how to throw every punch in the book. Knows how to work his jab effectively. Upstairs, downstairs, he knows how to feint. He fights like a very talented, a skilled middleweight. Okay, he fights like Shakir. Reminds me of him. By the way, he throws that left hand. He'll throw it straight to the head, straight to the body. Then he'll sweep it around sweeping left hook over the top, like he knocked Tony Bellew out with, man. He was hitting him with that straight left hand everywhere. Then all of a sudden, Bellew started taking that bite, taking the bait, thinking that left hand was going to come straight, so he was ready to part. And boom, that Usyk came around with that sweeping left hook and closed the show. But Joe, he knows how to move at angles. He puts his combinations together beautifully, throws them left hands to the body, to slow you down, to set up the right hooks to the head. Those combinations when he has to, okay? And at the opportune moments. See, he knows when to put them combinations together at the opportune moments, because he knows he's not gonna take a lot of incoming back, because he knows he got his opponent before to the point of frustrated and hesitant that the opponent don't want to throw no more punches, because he know he ain't gonna hit Usyk. Okay, but this Usyk, man, and he's a competitive, resilient warrior. When he has to put his foot down on the pedal and take the momentum back from his opponent, you'll see him coming back firing the next round like he did against Joshua. Joshua had that great round. He was getting that momentum back. The crowd was going crazy. Usyk put his foot down, took control of that round, took the momentum back, and got the momentum back on his side. Okay, that's called being a resilient competitor. High degree of mental intestinal fortitude, being mentally tough. And that Usyk boy, he's, man, skill-wise, boxing IQ, could throw every punch in the book. He's like Shakir, but to me, I think he's on a higher level because he's got a lot more experience than Shakir in the amateur level, big fights and everything. Yeah, man, he's gonna be a load to handle, man. Any heavyweight, only heavyweight out there that I think could give him problems. Wilder, because the motherfucker can hit, and Tyson Fury because of his size. Joshua, he really whooped his ass twice. So yeah, that's fantastic. But that Usyk, I like him. He was one of my. That's why I want to see this fight. Okay, because you're going to see a difference of levels in talent, boxing IQ, skill. Okay, and you're going to see it all on display when he fights Dubois. Yeah.
And there it is, guys. And there it is. We look at the odds. We consult our favorite book, which is the MGM, Bet MGM guys out of Vegas. And according to their betting odds, Alexander Usyk, the incumbent champion, is listed as a 10-1 betting favorite, or a minus 1,000. Daniel Dubois is listed as a not so live betting underdog at a 6-1 or a plus 600. Coach, are you ready to make your final prediction on this fight, sir?
Shit, man. Usyk. As long as he don't get caught by that big right hand, big left hook, and get knocked, it ain't gonna. Yeah. Usyk. As long as he prepared right now, and which I think he's done. I don't think he takes shortcuts. As long as he ain't got no distractions outside the gym. When he goes to camp, he's totally focused. Goes through the grind, goes through the process. Doesn't take shortcuts. Yeah, he shouldn't have a problem with Dubois.
And there,
but the only way he's going to get beaten this fight, Joe, if he didn't properly prepare, and you'll see it in the fight.
Yep, and that's highly unlikely, Coach. What are the chances? And when have we ever seen Alexander Usyk take shortcuts or not properly prepare for anyone?
Yeah, never.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it, guys. So, what is your final prediction, my friend?
Oh, Usyk, you're gonna knock him the fuck out. Then
Yeah. And there it is, guys. There it is. Yeah. That's your official prediction from Coach Gogue for this Saturday night's main event from Krakow, Poland, right? And Larry Liston agrees with you. He says, yeah, I think Dubois will do decent in the fight, but after 2 or 3 rounds, Usyk will completely take over. Probably a 7th or 8th round TKO for Usyk.
Good assessment, Larry. Good assessment. Where you from, Larry, by the way?
Well, I tell you what, Coach always likes to know where his listeners are residing. So please disclose that if you can.
And
also want to give a big shout out.
Are you related to Sonny Liston?
Oh, boy. Well, I tell you what, his boxing knowledge, well, he may be. We'll know. We love Larry on the show. He's very insightful. We always look forward to his comments and questions when we're conducting this program. Also want to give a big shout out to my brother Refugio Garcia. Dubois is in phenomenal shape, but seeing a win, boy, that's a stretch. Yes, it is. Yeah. And Marcos Chaz being the turd in the punch bowl, yeah, coming out in left field. Oh, Shakur's probably never going to become a pay-per-view star. What the hell brought that up? Khalid says, Dubois has power. He stopped everyone from what I remember. He's 19-1 with 18 knockouts. But, Coach, what happened in his last fight against Lorena, that former cruiserweight?
He got dropped 3 times, I think. Yeah.
In the first round.
Huh.
Yeah. But he ended up getting off the canvas, working his way through it, and getting the big knockout in the third. But Lorena, that's not Alexander Usyk, guys.
Exactly.
Sly Tendency says this, I'm betting on Dubois because I know he's going to be a massive underdog. Well, there's always that chance. Yep, there's always that chance. But, hey, once again, you're betting against a coach. So we'll see how that turns out. Keep us informed, my friend.
The upset of the year if he beats Usyk.
Yep, it sure would be. It would be one of the biggest upsets in the history of the heavyweight division, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We also want to welcome my brother Kamikaze. Salute Joseph and Coach Gogue. Salute to you, brother. Larry Listen says, I'm in Europe. Ha. And sadly, no relation to Sonny, although a big fan.
Where in Europe? Where in Europe do you live? Germany, Italy, France, Yugoslavia?
Well, I tell you what, thank you for joining us in this very early, or dare I say late hour.
Yeah.
Listen to this. I definitely think Dubois has more speed. Well, go watch fight tape again, brother, because he's as slow as molasses compared to Usyk. Yeah. Well, he has more speed than Joe Joyce, but is that saying anything at all? And there it is. Pranay says, Coach, what do you think of Canelo training in Lake Tahoe at high altitude? He says no golf till the end of the Charlo fight. And guys, that leads us in to, our discussion of Canelo versus Crawford. Coach Gogue, once again, a lot of people laughed at this matchup. Even Terrence Crawford said, no, that's too much. Even Canelo said, nah, you know what? I don't get anything out of it. Basically, people, if I knock him out, people will say, yeah, he's too small. And if he beats me, well, yeah, I'm in a no-win situation. But guys, money talks in this business. This is indeed a business. And this is the biggest money fight available for both gentlemen if Canelo takes care of business on September 30th. So, Coach, do you like this matchup, and does Terrence Crawford have a chance?
Like I said, Joe, financially, look, Terrence Crawford paid his dues to get him. Terrence Crawford paid his dues to get him to this point of getting the biggest paydays he can. Secure his family even more. Add more wealth to his family, long-term wealth. And I think it's a great fight. If he was younger and you're trying to, protect him still, making sure he's getting the right fights because the money isn't good. But this is a different scenario. Right now, he's the hottest star in boxing. And I take the fight. It's Oh shit, risky, going up 3 weight divisions. But if they offer him that 30 million guarantee with a little upside, hell yeah, do it. I would. He's 36, Joe. He's to the point where he just should capitalize on the biggest paydays out there. Charlo is good, great fight, but it ain't Canelo. Now Canelo, he got to get rid of Charlo first. Then I would make that. Then he's got to get past this. What do you call it? This if Earl Spence wants a rematch.
That's it. And most people, once again, anticipate that we'll know within the next week whether or not Errol Spence Jr. will be down for a rematch. And keep in mind, it's highly likely that he's going to ask or request that Terrence Crawford approve of a big rematch sometime next year, not by the end of the year, guys. So we'll see, and that is completely up to Terrence Crawford.
Well, whatever that contract says, man, Joe, if they got to do the rematch by December, hey, let's do it. That'll force Crawford's hand. Now, if he don't want to do it by December, hey, let's do the Cinco de Mayo Day, Canelo Crawford. Yeah. Whatever the contract says. I don't know what it says.
That's it. And once again, it's all contingent on Terrence Crawford. If Errol Spence wants to invoke or execute his rematch clause, yes, it has to take place by the end of the year. But he can make a request to Terrence Crawford. And Terrence Crawford, that's contingent on his approval. He could say, fuck no, man. No, it's either by the end of this year or nothing. That's it.
Then he can move right into that payday. I would, man. Fucking $30 million. Fuck. Are you kidding me?
That's it. Sly says 10-1. That's action I'm willing to take. No. It's 10-1 if you're betting in favor of Alexander Usyk. Now, once again, guys, handicappers will protect themselves by straddling the odds. So it's 10-1 in favor of Usyk. He's a 10-1 betting favorite, but Daniel Dubois is a 6-1 betting underdog. So if you bet on Daniel Dubois, it's 6-1 odds. That's still a healthy payday. That means if you wager $1,000 and if Dubois does the unthinkable and knocks out Alexander Usyk or even wins a decision, you win $6,000. Okay? That's the way it works, guys. Yep. That's the way it works, guys. So once again, he says, I think Usyk will win for sure, but I'll throw in a bill in the bet bucket. So what that means is if you sacrifice and wager $100, you stand to make $600 if Dubois wins. That's still a nice payday.
Yeah.
You take your girl out to Ruth's Chris or Morton's or something like that, right? Or Eddie V's. I love that place. And there it is, guys. There it is. Khalid says, you know what, Coach? How would Canelo versus Bud play out in your mind at 68?
Crawford he would give him a hard time early on because of his intelligent boxing skills. Okay. But over time, like I said, the bigger guy takes your punch. He absorbs the power of your punch so much better than guys your own weight. The physical size wears on you as the fight goes on. And when you start getting hit by them shots, you're like, Jesus, this is not sparring. And you're wearing 10-ounce gloves, no headgear. Yeah, it's a different ballgame. Sparring and fights are night and day, baby. Okay, you can spar in the gym against big guys, no problem. But you take off the headgear and you take off the big gloves and put on the little gloves with no headgear. Woo! The dynamics change immensely. All right. But Crawford, he's got great boxing skills, great boxing IQ, the best ambidextrous switch hitter I've ever seen. And skill level of both. I won't be surprised if he fought Canelo at the right-handed because he can land his jab more effectively if he fights at the right-handed position. Plus, Canelo has a lot of experience, skill in fighting southpaws, so he'll be able to neutralize all that stuff Bud does at a high skill level from the southpaw position. He'll be able to neutralize it better but at the right-handed position, I think Crawford would be more effective. Okay, his ability to same skill level with the southpaw, that using that a jab effectively from long range, controlling the tempo of the fight and setting up everything he wants to do in the fight, what he needs to do to win. But small gloves, not big gloves, no headgear. Naturally bigger guy, absorbs your punch better. Soaks your best punch when you hit him, he soaks it in like a sponge. When he hits you, oh, you could feel that power of the small gloves and inside the physicality, him roughing him up and everything. So, but anyway, that's interesting, interesting. And like I said, Bud walks around 68 to 70. That's not natural walking around weight. You don't fight at your natural walking around weight. Canelo, he fights 68, but he walks around probably 90. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's just me.
Coach, you still there, brother?
Oh yeah, I'm here, Joe. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, very good. Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear perfectly. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I was looks like I was suffering some Wi-Fi issues. But once again, thank you for your comment, brother. And well, let's go to Kamikaze. He says, Crawford versus Canelo legit sounds like a fantasy fight, but it could come to fruition. Yes, it could. It's crazy to think about it. Yes, it is. But hey, that's great for the sport if that comes to fruition, guys. Pranay says, Coach, real curious, though, what do you think, seriously, about Canelo training at high altitude in Lake Tahoe and no golf? But you're missing one factor that he said. He said he's got his entire family with him in Lake Tahoe at this time. Coach, is that going to benefit him? Is that a distraction? What say you, sir?
Like I said, Joe, when you get to Canelo, you start doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. You made all that money. You start getting a little bit more comfortable. Bringing your family into camp, that's a distraction, man. You go to camp to get away from all that stuff, so you can go through the grind, go through the process, pay the price, okay, and eliminate all those distractions, okay. Totally be focused on boxing and everything, man. That's why you go to camp. Going to Tahoe, beautiful up there. We trained up there several times. When I had 3-time champion Tony the Tiger Lopez. In fact, we trained with Riddick Bowe one time when he was getting ready to fight Holyfield the second time. Yeah. We were Bowe was at Caesar's Tahoe Casino. Yeah, over there in Tahoe. They set up a ring for us in the bingo room, and he would train first and we would train second. Yeah, but anyway, Tahoe, 6,700 feet altitude. Yeah, that training at that altitude gets you in tremendous shape, gets you in better condition. But, you got to avoid distractions, and bringing this family up there, that's let me tell you this. Tony's dad would never let that shit happen.
Nope.
Nope. No. Only the essential crew, like me, the sparring partners would go up there. Then his brother would join us later. But I would start camp off now, setting the tone and everything, and picking the sparring partners, going over with Tony how many rounds we're going to spar and all that shit, the strategy and all that. I did all that. But the dad, the day of the fight, another thing I see now, man, the family and everybody goes into the dressing room, the wife, the kids. Tony's dad would never allow that shit, man. The wife, the girlfriend go in that dressing room. Nah. That's old school back in the days. Now it's different, man. Now you see it's a quinceañera in the fucking locker room before the fight. Different times, baby.
And there it is. Slight Tendency says, Canelo versus Crawford would be like a Billy Conn versus Joe Louis all over again. Yep.
I recall that fight. Yeah.
There it is. Good observation. And Toby says, why doesn't anyone mention Canelo's knee injury now? Has he had his knee injury fixed long-term now? Well, guys, you know what I think? Once again, this is long-term PED abuse. You're going to start seeing injuries become more frequent with Canelo Alvarez in the twilight of his career. Guys, don't be shocked if he takes a huge leap off of a cliff within the next several fights. Don't be shocked. Once again, Team Batman Boxing, want to welcome you to the show. He says, Canelo would absolutely decimate Crawford. People getting far too carried away with him beating a broken, inactive Spence, who was never anywhere near the level of Canelo.
Well, Team Batman Boxing, let's just see how he looks against Charlo. If he wins and doesn't look good against Charlo, bum bum bum, the beat of the drums are going to start pounding louder for Crawford and Canelo. All right.
And there it is. And there it is. And there it is. We'll see what happens, guys. And once again, he has to get past Jermell Charlo.
And if he doesn't look good, Joe, and it goes a distance, boom, 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 boom.
Yep. And guys, keep in mind, guys, the handicappers have this listed as an almost even money fight. Charlo versus Canelo.
The war drums will start beating, Joe. The war drums will start beating louder.
Yep. Do they know something we don't, guys? Why do most books have this listed? Charlo versus Canelo is an even money fight, guys. Why? And there it is. And there it is. You don't want to talk about it, though, do you, Coach?
The way Canelo's been looking his last couple of fights, he's slipping. Then you get a guy like Charlo, tall, long, rangy, mobile, agile, versatile. I might give Canelo problems when they think he's slipping. He's going down in his prime. Yep. If he wins this fight, Charlo, upset of the year, and it's going to make that Crawford fight hot.
Yep, that's it.
But the hotter fight is Canelo. If he beats Charlo and he doesn't look good, then okay, Crawford and his team we start licking their chops, man, smelling that money. Hit the lottery ticket. Yeah, they're going to hit a lottery, the mega lottery. Good for them. Good for Crawford and Bomac and all his crew, man. Good for them, man, if they get that fight. I would take it. Not a good fight, but you're to the point where he's 36. You go for the biggest paydays possible. I'm all for you, baby, Crawford, if you get that fight.
Okay, well, look, the odds have changed, right? And Batman points this out to me. Thank you for pointing this out, brother. He says, yeah, he's an almost 3-1 betting favorite since the outset, since these were announced. Who? Yeah, the odds have changed. Once again, the odds have widened, okay? According to FanDuel.com, Saul Canelo Alvarez is now at a minus 320. Jermell Charlo, a plus 280. So what that means is the fans are determining, and once again, all the money is coming on Canelo. Okay? All the money is shifting towards a Canelo victory. That's what that means. Okay. But the initial betting odds were almost 50-50, Batman. So that's all that means. Once again, the bettors determine what direction the betting line goes, right? That's what that means.
Money's going on Canelo.
What?
Money's going on Canelo.
Money's going on Canelo, big time, brother. And so, G Funky, thank you for hanging around with us. He says Canelo ain't the same anymore. Yep. Yeah. Guys, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it, guys. You're gonna see it. Khalid says, yeah, Vegas had Beevil as a bigger underdog than Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. They don't know what they're talking about. Coach, do most sports books, do handicappers not know what they're talking about?
Right on the money. A lot of times they're not in there place these odds, okay, for the casinos to lose money. They're usually correct a lot of the times, okay, majority of the times. A few times the house will lose money. It's normal, but you look at the big picture overall, the whole year, they usually come out ahead.
There it is. There it is, guys. There it is. Also want to welcome the boxing scholar. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach. We're already 91 minutes in. We've got to wrap this up. And it's like he says, That's selling your. Oh, Ryan did it also. I'm sure he's referring to Jermell Charlo taking this big risk, jumping up to weight divisions. Yeah.
Well, it's all about money, man. You get your position. You work hard all your life to position yourself to get these paydays, man. You got to take these risks because these paydays ain't going to come. They don't come every day. They're rare opportunities, and you got to take advantage of it. Hell yeah, man. Nothing but love with Charlo. I've known Charlo since a 14-year-old amateur, too, by the way.
Yep.
You guys know. Seen him grow up in the amateurs. Yeah.
Yep. He's a good kid. Alden Johnson, welcome to the show, sir. He says, salute to War Week Radio and the chat. Salute to you, my friend, and thank you for joining us, my friend. And look. Batman has the beats here. Now listen to this. He says, as to put everything in perspective, does anyone actually think Crawford could beat Jaime Munguia? I don't. He was wobbled by Gamboa and is 35 years old. Stop this madness.
Look,
Coach, does he have a point?
Weight difference, Joe. Hell yeah, man. It's got a point, man.
Once again, that's completely irrelevant. Crawford's still going to take this fight.
Hey,
it's just too much money to leave on the table.
If he doesn't look good this fight, Canelo, and he decisions Charlo, man, he's slipping. People are, oh man, Crawford. This is a perfect time to fight Canelo for Crawford and get $30 million, baby.
Yep, and there it is.
I shouldn't have said that, Joe. I shouldn't have said 30 million because it's Stevie Espinosa, if you're watching, you're going to start shaking like, I got to come up with 30 million for this guy.
And Sly says, yeah, the house usually has the edge. He's got the beat. When they do lose, everyone thinks they're never right. Their bank account says otherwise.
That's
it.
That's it,
guys.
Baby.
Look, before we actually let everyone go, I do have to address this nonsense bullshit narrative that's floating around the internet right now, right? And the internet lesser channels will insist that PBC for years, they were freezing out Crawford. Once again, guys, there's a reason. The only reason why Mayweather-Pacquiao even happened, Coach, and you know this, was because of the involvement of Les Moonves from CBS.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And look, here was the problem in putting that fight together, because Mayweather and Pacquiao both were still making really good money without each other. That was the problem. And so Spence, having all of this PBC talent at 147, he was still making millions without fighting Terrence Crawford. That was the big problem. Now, if the reverse, say the adverse, if the shoe were on the other foot, if the Crawford if Top Rank had all the talent at the time at 47, would they actually fight Spence if they had all the talent at 47? Keep in mind, every promoter wants to keep everything in-house. And let's just face it, if Crawford were truly being frozen out, okay, his own promoter, Top Rank, couldn't even get him the big fights within their own stable. How successful were they in making Crawford versus Pacquiao? Okay? Fact of the matter was, Crawford has been for a while too much risk for the reward. And he's been a product of receiving inflated purses. The publicist, Tim Smith for BBC, even projected, this is going to be a problem negotiating with Terrence Crawford, because he's grown accustomed to receiving millions of dollars guaranteed, far beyond his market value. Okay, guys? So all of this bullshit about PBC single-handedly freezing him out, it's nonsense, guys. It's nonsense. It happened. You saw the fight when Terrence Crawford became a free agent. After an entire year of negotiations, it finally happened. Be thankful that you saw it. Be thankful that he got the opportunity. And guess what? He's a mainstream attraction because of the brilliant performance he put forth.
Yeah, he is.
That's it. That's it. Coach, am I wrong in assessing any of that?
No, you're correct, Joe. You're correct. No argument for me.
And there it is. And there it is. Thank you, Batman, for once again hanging with us, brother. Thank you for always supporting the coach on this Sunday. Coach, that's it. Do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir? Oh, wait.
Great show tonight, Joe. Good.
Hold on, brother. Well, let me just do this. No. Well, never mind. That's it. I was going to do one more fact or fiction, but no, we've gone on long enough.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're 96 minutes in.
Go ahead. One more for the road.
No. That's all right, brother. It's here it is for good measure, guys. Floyd.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Thank you, Floyd. Thank you, Floyd. Final fact or fiction, coach. Number 2, Terrence Crawford will price himself out of a fight with Canelo Alvarez in 2024. Fact or fiction?
Probabilities are low because he knows he's 36 years old. He ain't got many prime years to make big money. And if something like this comes ahead, if he tries to overprice himself, you could tell, you could say he's a really dumb shit, because this is the biggest payday he's ever going to receive, even if he doesn't like the pay. Okay, me, 30 million is 30 million. Yeah, 30 million. Yeah. And I don't talk this kind of craziness, man. You know what I mean? 30 million. Because he's the hottest fighter in boxing, so he has some leverage when he talks to when he negotiates with Sal. And Sal would agree. You know, Sal ain't no dummy. He'd agree. He's like, yeah, man, you're hot. Yeah, you're mainstream. You know, you know what I mean? This fight with Sal, 30 million is reasonable, man. Now, if he tries to ask for 50, 100, oh, fuck, I'll get the fuck out of here, man. And he'll just kiss him, payday away. Me personally, he gonna play hardball, try to get everything he can. But don't try to get everything you can, but don't blow the fight, man. And but I think he'll come to, because he knows, man. Hey, man, he gonna talk to his team, man. This is a life. Fuck, we ain't gonna make this kind of money. Let's do it. Fuck Charlo. But if Charlo,
look, you're talking about
different story.
You're speaking relatively, coach, from someone who's rational and understands the business. Listen to the bullshit that he's been spewing lately. This is a guy who came into negotiations with Showtime demanding $22 million to fight Errol Spence Jr. How much do you think he's going to demand to face Canelo Alvarez, the biggest star in North America?
50 million. But they'll come. If he come, they'll make him come to his senses, man. If they negotiate or say, hey, no, it ain't going to happen. Canelo will say, hey, go fuck yourself, man. You know what I mean?
That's it. And you know what?
You ain't going to make that kind of money fight nobody else, so go fuck yourself. But he'll come in hard to negotiation like he should with his team, and it'll be outrageous. Then they have to calm him down. See, Joe, you could start, okay, you can ask for a price, but you can't go up in price as the negotiation goes down. You always can start high. It's always best to start high, then go down to common ground. Yeah, that's negotiation, man. You know what? That's Stevie and Canelo's problem. Yeah, it's not mine. Yeah.
Well, now keep in mind, here's the biggest problem in this negotiation I see when it starts. Canelo doesn't need Terrence Crawford to make money. That's always been a problem.
Yeah,
that's always a problem, guys. So once again, if Terrence Crawford believes that he's wearing the big daddy pants at this time because he's the flavor of the month, well, guess again. No one dictates terms of Canelo.
What's going to, like I said, besides money, what's going to motivate Crawford if he doesn't look good against Crawford, if he doesn't look good against Spence, against Charlo. Canelo doesn't look good against Charlo, and they're going to be licking their chops. They're going to say, hey, dog, Crawford's going to call his team, hey, Bo, man, this he's made to get beat now, man. Let's get this fight done. Yeah.
Yep, let's get this fight done no matter what it takes. Let's hope it happens, guys, because once again, it may seem like a fantasy matchup at this point, but if it does happen, look how good that's going to be for the health of the sport.
That's Joe. He's the hottest fighter in boxing right now. And if he keeps building his brand out there, and Canelo, who's the face of boxing, if he doesn't look good against Charlo, man, the boom, boom, the war drums are going to start pounding. Crawford versus Canelo, Cinco de Mayo Day. Motherfucker, man.
Oh. And there it is. And there it is, guys. Keep in mind, and we have to put forward this disclaimer. Because of, all of us, and once again, Gogue and I take an exception to what Terrence Crawford was saying. We're unbiased in this situation. Okay. We've been in the business for a considerable amount of time. We don't have a dog in the hunt. And truth be known, Gogue and I are both fans of Terrence Crawford.
Joe, I got nothing but love for Crawford ever since he started.
Yep.
I followed
That's it.
Joe, I knew him in the amateurs, and I followed his career when he was with Cameron Duncan and Chris Mindorf when he started, man. So
So keep in mind, guys, our assessment is nothing.
Joe, I know
reality
the kid.
The truth.
Joe, I've known the kid grow. I seen him grow and mature and nurture. Okay, so man, I ain't got nothing but love for the kid, man. I don't know him personally. I met him one time. Hey, we talked cordially, but I don't know the guy. He don't know me, but I got nothing but love for the guy. I respect his skills. I respect his boxing IQ, his demeanor in the ring. Yeah, man. Nothing but love for the guy, man.
Yep. It's hard not to like Bud Crawford in the ring, but outside of the ring, you got a bit to learn, Junior.
No, the business part, I don't agree with him, but the personal side, he's a great guy to talk to, man. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know him personally, man. I don't. Hey, man, let's go out to dinner. I ain't all that shit.
Yep, and there it is. But guys, we're already. Well, an hour and 42 minutes in, so we do have to bid everyone adieu. And Coach Gogue, your parting shots for our listening audience, sir.
Like I said, great show tonight. Tune in next week. Spread the love. Share. We got the best show podcast in boxing. I don't give a fuck what other motherfuckers say out there. They can't talk boxing like me and Joe do, or you know what I mean. There's a few good ones out there. I ain't gonna rag them all. There's a few good ones I like. Just very maybe two. That's all. And most of them can't talk boxing like because I've been in this a long time and I know the game from from the amateur roots all the way to the top of the pro top of the mountain in the pros. So I just I learned this. I learned this and cultivated my skills and craft over the years. So we have a great show and I got a great co-host and like I said, our show is I heard them all out there. Them motherfuckers they can't carry our jockstrap. Bottom line. Anyway,
thank you, Coach. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you guys for tuning in and getting another education on how this fucking crazy fucking business works.
And there it is, guys. On behalf of the incomparable boxing savant, Maestro James Gogue, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to Warwick Radio, Gogue's Big Fight Preview. Have a great week, everybody.
Halftime Pizza and FightSaga.com proudly present